me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
After a wild and strategy-filled race at Road America last week, which saw Jonas out try to one-stop it, but it was one lap short, we head up to the Northeast for a two-stop regular season finale, and it kicks off here today at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the first time ever in the JBL Cup Series. This flat 1 mile track is going to be interesting of how this one works out, because see some strategy, it might be hard to pass, but one thing's for certain, we only have 2 races to go in the regular season finale. New Hampshire and Pocono. This is the Xfinity 10g 300 at New Hampshire. What's up, everyone? It's the boy on this race 97, aka Nathan Stapleton, and welcome to New Hampshire for the first time ever in the JBL Cup Series. And we are in for an interesting one here today. It's gonna be interesting because it's not gonna be impossible to pass, but it's gonna be difficult to pass. The inside lane works, but so that's the outside lane, and gonna have to wait and see how everything works out. Gonna be a 2-group racetrack, and the start might be a little bit wacky, but there's a good chance that this could go caution-free and could see some strategy to play into effect here. 2 races to go in the regular season, and I'm joined by somebody that will join me for a bunch of chase races. I think almost half of them. We got Elijah Leonard up here in the booth, and Elijah, welcome to New Hampshire.
Hello, how we doing?
Well, New Hampshire, never been here before, a flat 1 mile track with a couple of different grooves, and with how tight the championship is and the chase points, what do these drivers have to do here at New Hampshire to not only win and to leave here with a shot to make it into the chase, knowing that there's only 2 races left?
Well, a part of it, I feel personally, especially at this juncture of the season where you got 2 races left in the regular season, I'd say for some of the drivers that are in, I'd say you might want to just try your best to perform as well as you possibly can. But if you're somebody that is below the cut line, you definitely better race your heart out. You better make sure that you get up towards the front. You better make sure that you win the race. So that way you can solidify your spot, because with 2 races to go, I just don't think racing your way in is going to be 100% enough. I think you got to win. If you're somebody like, I do want to say, I think Derek Hamill, for instance, I think down 3, if I'm looking at this correctly, he is just barely below the cut line. And he's starting inside of the top 10 from what I'm looking at. So if he can actually stay right where he is, kind of stay within the top 10 all race long, nail down his pit strategy correctly, he could probably get a win. But that's another thing. Pit strategy is going to be very, very key, especially if you're trying to get up to the front. So maybe 2 tire stops to try to get yourself up there. Maybe try to split some green flag runs in half. And maybe, just maybe, you might have your shot, might have a chance to win, maybe get yourself into the chase. But with 2 races to go, it is going to be pretty tough, especially with everybody else trying to go for that same piece of pie all at once.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. And it's going to be very interesting of what ends up happening. You mentioned pit strategy. It's going to be 1 pit stop around lap 40, depending on if we have an early caution. So should be good on 1 stop. If there's an early caution, then that might be 2. But let's go over the points here. With 2 races to go in the regular season, Joe Kowski, he has 3 wins, the most out of anyone. And he has 378 points in the bank. He's been the point leader for the majority of the season. And he's 92 points above the cutoff line, so he is locked in 2 races early. Logan Williams is second in points, 66 points above the cutoff line. He's basically a lock unless he finishes dead last here at New Hampshire and Pocono, which is pretty unlikely, so play asterisk for Logan Williams to make it into the chase. So really we have 2 spots that are all but locked in. And then Ace Garcia's plus 30, looking really good as well in that spotter machine. The witch member of Noah Clifton's, it's plus 19. Alex San Vitale, the best rookie, the season and the best Team Penske driver, really showing up late here in the regular season, plus 12. And then it gets really tight from San Vitale on down. Even with the lanes, it's very tight. Josh Williamson, he's been in the top 10 in points all season. 6th in points, but he's only plus 9. Skylar Taylor back up inside the top 10 after a rough few races. They are plus 5. Brian Beal. Now, Beal, he's basically locked in, because he can either points win, being inside the top 10 as of now, or with him getting that win at Road America, he can fall outside the top 10 and most likely get a wild card spot. So Beal is another one that basically knows fate that one way or another he will make the season 5 chase. Justin Idell plus 3, and we have a tie for that 10th and final spot between Jordan Stout and Dale Camel. But because Jordan Stout has more top 5s than the defending champion Dale Camel, Stout has that as of now. Trey Bauer is minus 2, Burnett minus 8, John Andrews has wildcard number 1, he's minus 8 as well. April minus 9 has wildcard number 2. Wayne minus 12. Walker, low driver, and is minus 13. Those drivers have a really good shot of getting inside the top 10 leading here today. But then everyone else, it's going to be a little bit harder to get inside the top 10 leaving New Hampshire. 12 Hampton minus 20. Jordan Edwards minus 25. Ryan Dwyer minus 29. And then Eric Monaco 21st minus 30. And here's two drivers that we have to watch out for. Eli Bright, he was doing good at Road America, I should say, but blew a tire halfway and finished dead last. He's been having a up and down season. One at Willow Springs, he is in the wild card spot, but he's about 20 points behind Abel here today and needs a good one. And same for Nick Lopez, 2-time winner. If they can get inside the top 20, then that 54 team, kind of like with Beal, because that 54 has 2 wins, would be essentially locked into the chase. A lot of different factors, and it's going to be a wild one here at New Hampshire. And let's go ahead and get these drivers rolling off. Is Joe Wachowski, same song, different track. His 3rd pole on the season for this 43 team for Lexi Motor Club. And alongside him is Owen Miles, Alex San Vitale, MO2, and Eli Blight. Roll number 3 is Santa Messi, great qualifying run for Hendrick Motorsports. And the number 48, and Jordan Edwards. And then Ace Garcia, Dale Hamill, and then Juan Garcia and Juan Kennington with a good one in the number 19. 75 laps on top here at New Hampshire. For the first time ever, who do you think will win the Xfinity 10g 300?
Well, honestly, obviously the no-brainer bet would be Joe Rutkowski. I mean, you've already said it, 3 wins. I mean, he's probably the strongest guy in the field. But I'm definitely going for the guy right behind him, Alex Sabatali. I think he could definitely get the job done.
Not a bad pick. He's been red hot as of late towards the end of the regular season. And maybe we'll have another rookie to get a win here today. Everyone's looking at this racetrack first time ever at New Hampshire. And it will be Joe Wachowski and Owen Miles leading us to the green flag. Let's see if he will win here with a lob still in victory lane. And we are green flag race from the first time ever at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. A clean start on that number 1. I said it could be a little bit crazy, and it was a little bit. But it will be Joe Wachowski leading that number 1, with Saint Messi going to the inside of all miles. And definitely at the start is where you want to make the passes. As Eli Blight.
Oh, that is. Oh, man.
Hamill, Blight, Miles, and Edwards all in a cluster right there. That could have been like easily off turn 2.
That could have looked a lot worse than what we just saw, but thankfully they all kept it together. The worst thing that happened, of course, obviously was Bright, the 1 machine of Owen Miles, and as well as the 47 of Dare Campbell. Obviously that was the worst thing that happened, was just all 3 of those cars coming together and just banging doors. But other than that, it looks like they keep it clean and green. We're still going here on lap number 3. And it looks like top 4, top 5 have all gotten single file. And this is what we're seeing here, is that a lot of drivers are already utilizing that inside line. That inside line is always going to be the preferred way to go at a place like New Hampshire. But the only risk that you take is that we saw some drivers going through 3 and 4. They kind of dipped below, kind of like this little threshold of banking that is completely flat. From the looks of things, if you do get down there, it looks like it kind of messes with the run on your car. So that is definitely something you want to watch out for here, especially as this race goes on.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You definitely want that middle lane as the inside lane, and then the third lane as the second lane, because the unique thing about New Hampshire, that very bottom lane is debanked. It has no banking whatsoever, and that's going to be not what you want to do all day long. Hamilton trying to get to the inside of all miles. Top 5 singled out. Kennington got a little bit sideways off of turn number 2. Gonna see that all day as well. These drivers really pushing the limits. And Hamilton is going to hit the deep banking there. And Nick Lopez, who needs a good one. Oh my goodness, about caught turn right when I say that. But Nick Lopez needs a good one. Been trying to get inside the top 20 points. If this 54 can, then most likely we'll make it into the chase with a wild card. It's not smart though going through. Why not New Hampshire?
And for as far as Nick Lopez's position, 32 below the cut line. I'd say for him, it's a long shot for him to try to make it in on points. I'd say he's going to have to win for sure. But so far early in the going, it's not looking too good for him because he was holding his own, but looks like he's going to lose a couple positions there as he just got wrestled up to the outside.
Oh, going way to the outside. Of course, Nick Lopez is 23rd in points. Only, I believe, 4 points behind Dwight for 20th. So if he can get in top 20, then that's what he needs to do. He cannot make it on points from now unless he gets 2 top 3 finishes back to back and then some. But making it in top 20 points and getting a wildcard spot is a real possibility for this number 54 team. And he's going to drift to the inside, and we are focusing a lot of these drives from 5th on back, as the top 5 are all single file, but the defending champion Taylor Campbell, who has gone really consistent the last 3 or 4 races, with another consistent one. And like I said, he's barely outside of the top 10 points based off of a tiebreaker with Jordan Stout. And the thing is, Jordan Stout is not that far behind. He's just outside the top 10 in that 21 machine. And gonna be interesting of how everything shakes out. I was not expecting the points to be as close as they are with the lanes, but they still are between the top 16, top 17. And realistically, 16 or 17 drivers could point the way into the top 10 in points.
But I mean, that's one of those things, right? You know, it just, with how close the points are, it just definitely does create for some really, really good, for really good content, I'd say. I would say really good TV, but we're not actually on national television, of course. We could be on YouTube TV. If you put YouTube on your TV screens, that is.
Yeah, there's that.
But there is that. But you know, as far as Jordan Stout and Derek Hamill, I mean, the tiebreaker obviously is going to be who finishes ahead of the other. That's going to be the determining factor of who's going to go into the next race in the regular season finale with the advantage. But looks like right now Jordan Stout is starting to kind of break out of the double file action here. So we're looking at Travis Crampton. Looks like Crampton, alongside the 77, excuse me, that's the 78 of Wyatt Walker. The 77 and 78, I mean, like, especially these days with the Ziggler sponsorship, they look exactly the same, but
they do.
But yeah, it looks like Wyatt's going to get a slightly better run going into 3. Yeah, he's going to retain that spot over Travis, at least for now.
A good one for Wyatt Walker. You know, he's been quiet. He's in the midst. He's been top 15, top 17 for the majority of the regular season, just in the midst, but needs to do a little bit better if he wants to make it into the chase. How about Crampton? He's kind of gone on a little bit of a late season push in the Xfinity 10g car. Wyatt Walker is going to follow Juan Garcia, who honestly should have had a good one, but blew up at World America, unfortunately, very, very late. And here is the World America native that got a good one and started on pole at World America, I believe. And the number 17, kind of midway through the field in the 15th position, but it should be good enough to lock him into the chase entering Pocono next week. And Burnett starting to move his way up. He's been the best handed driver this season, but starting to slack off here late in the regular season. But back up to the front is all Joe Lukowski out front. Alex Vitali in second, but might have to watch out for Ace Garcia here. He won at a unique racetrack of Rockingham earlier in the season. And this is a unique racetrack for its own right here at New Hampshire. Got past the 48 and now trying to get past the number 12 of Alex Vitali. But welcome to the Joe Lukowski Cup Series. For years I was calling this the Roger Way Cup Series. We might have to call it the Joe Cup Series because he is dominant this season. He is dominating early on here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, just again proving the dominance that he's been showing over the course of this season, especially in the regular season. Definitely showcasing it here again. Could be well on his way to win number 4, but it's way too early to say that. Look at Nick Lopez trying to get around Derek Hamill right around the inside through 1 and 2. So far, he's got the advantage heading through 3 and 4. Hamill's going to hang right with him. Edges ahead through turn 4. Lopez beats him back to the gas.
Whew. That lap bit was Nick Lopez with that 6th position. Great battle between Lopez and Hamill. Lopez, he's been very strong this season, and at this point, I don't know what the top car at Joe Gibbs Racing is, because at one point it was Skylar Taylor, and then a few races, the 20 fell back, and the 54 took up that spot. But now, I don't know, I think Joe Gibbs is starting to get a little bit better here towards the end of the regular season, because you have Ronald Kennington, who's, unfortunately, he's had a disappointing season in his number 19. Whenever he's up front, he has bad luck. And whenever he's in the back, he stays in the back or has bad luck. So, right now, running inside the top 10, hopefully, knock on wood, he does not have bad luck with him being inside the top 10, but great one for that number 19 machine. And we are already almost halfway through the fuel window, about 40 laps on fuel. And we are already almost on lap 20 here at New Hampshire. The top 10 might be, the top 10, top 15 might be single file out, but look at this horse nest from all miles on back, 14th on back. It's absolutely wild here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, looks like right here, the 9 machine of Matthew Burnett looks like he's going to be able to get a position right here, kind of tuck in behind the 16 machine. Looks like here comes the 14 of Ryan Durrani. Right underneath, looks like the 34. I thought that was the 38 for a second, but number 34, John Andrews, if I'm looking at this correctly. But yeah, John Andrews, definitely another one of those drivers who definitely could point his way in, if I'm looking at this correctly. He is the first wild card as of right now, so if he can actually if he can play his cards right, especially with pit strategies here with when we got green flag pit stops coming up in the next 20 laps or so, depending on how these next 20 play out, excuse me, he could find himself in the top 10. You just don't know though, but we'll find out.
Yeah, with how tight the points are from 17th on up. Realistically, if things get crazy, White Walker could point his way in going into Pokemon next week. But John Andrews has had a really consistent season, and I bet Benny Watson would love to have both his cars, Idell and John Andrews, to make it into the Season 5 chase. Gonna look at the back of the field. Unfortunately, Trey Barlow, not a good one for the Sport 1 team. Only 2 points out coming into this one, and he's 24th right now. Not what that team wants to see, and not what Idell wants. He's only 3 points above. And he's deep in the field behind Trey Barlow. And Noah Clifton, he's 19 points in, but he is all the way in 29th. Not a good one for him. Bradley Ream is in the back. Anthony Hernandez is back here. Last week's Brandon Beal started dead last. He's moved up a little bit, but still not even inside the top 30. And then Aaron Abel is back here as well. 15th in points and has the second wild card as of now. But this is going to get interesting because Andrews and Abel are kind of in the middle to the back part of the field. Meanwhile, Eli Bright and Nick Lopez are up towards the front. So, you know, we might end up having a battle not only for the last couple of spots to make it in on points, but we could have a 4-way battle for 2 wildcard spots going into Pocono next week if things stay as they are. But how about Messi? He's starting to get some momentum. He's not in the top 23 in points, but this 48 team got a good one at World America and running up front as of now. But Ace Garcia cannot get past San Vitale, and right now, Joe Wachowski once again is on cruise control here in the JBL Cup Series.
I'd say for a lot of these drivers that are up towards the front of the field, I wouldn't want to try to use up all my tires and try to burn off all my fuel, especially if you're somebody like Ace Garcia, who's trying ever so desperately to get by Alex Sabatali. I'd say you might want to try to take care of your stuff, try to nurse it as best as you possibly can, while trying to stay with them, especially in this juncture of this green flag run. Try to get it to the first round of green flag stops so that we can get some 4 fresh Goodyears, a fresh tank of fuel, and then you might be good to go for the next round here. I think could be around... Actually, no, you could be good to go the rest of the way. So it mostly just depends on pit strategy here. Oh, I guess as relentless as he is, here comes Ace Garcia.
Yeah, it should be good to go on one stop depending if we get a caution or not, but Ace Garcia not going to wait for the caution. He's going to try to take second away from Alex San Vitale, and he's going to make it an easy pass. And Ace Garcia, tell you what, he might be as fast as Joe Wachowski, if not maybe a little bit faster. Now we're going to have to wait and see of what this 7 machine has compared to the 43. Still a great one for Alex San Vitale, but we're going to have to wait and see if we end up seeing Inspire versus Alexi here today. And he did gain a little bit last time by Ace Garcia did. It was 7 tenths, now it's 6 tenths, 6.5 tenths. Garcia's starting to pull away from the 12, and look at that off turn 2. Ace Garcia might be one of the fastest cars on the long one here, all the way closing it in on Joe Wachowski.
I'd say in realistic terms for the 12 machine, he probably acknowledged that, yeah, hey, Ace, you're definitely faster than me. Why don't you go on by me? And I'll definitely nurse this around until the first round of green flag stops. So it's yeah, Ace Garcia is definitely looking like he's got himself a pretty fast hot rod. He's gonna try to run down Joe Rakowski, but I'd say you might want to wait until that first round of green flag stops. I don't think Ace is gonna need that at all. He is definitely taking advantage of the amount of speed that he's got in this car, and he's gonna try to run him down as best as he can.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting with pit stops because we've never been here before, and none of these drivers know what to do. We don't know if the undercut works or if the overcut works here. A lot of unknowns with pit strategy, and Garcia did close in a little bit right there. Gonna go deep into the field a little bit. We got Wyatt Walker and Ace Garcia, or not Ace Garcia, Juan Garcia, just outside the top 10, battling for position. Not many battles going on at the moment, but Net making some moves in the number 9. And just going to go through the field, looking at the first battle. That would be the 34 to the inside of Hubert. Hubert is one of those guys that I feel so bad for him, because he's another one of the drivers that whenever he has speed, he has bad luck and things don't go his way. The only time that he's actually on a good result from having speed was at Rockingham, and that was because of his teammate was in the booth, ironically. So, unfortunate season for Matthew Hubert that could have been something special, but still only halfway through the season. Who knows if he doesn't make the chase, which it doesn't look like he will. He could still pop off, get a lot of wins, and have some eyes on him during free agency and going into season number 6. But it's gonna be interesting about everything works out here at for the second half of the season, because not only is the regular season coming to a close here at New Hampshire and in Pocono next week, but then we kick off the chase at Indianapolis once again for Discord 400 on 4th of July. And then I believe after that it is Chicagoland and Gateway for the first time ever. So a unique stretch of races here. And I have to see if who really has the best cars throughout the chase. But right now, we're kind of having a Wassup Cup Series scenario where Drew Webb was the dominant guy. Joe Wachowski is the dominant guy, and he could be the odds-on championship favorite here. But right now, 32 laps in, about 8 laps away from pit stops, it is Joe Wachowski, Ace Garcia, at San Vitale, Singleton Messi with a great one, Eli Bright in 5th, Nick Lopez closing into the top 5. He might have a good long run car in 6th. Dale Campbell in 7th. Jordan Edwards in 8th. Great one for that 31 team that needs it if he wants a shot at Pocono. And Ron Killington in 9th. And then Jordan Stout rounding out the top 10. And the way that Hamill and Stout are running, Hamill's in 7th. Stout is in 10th. If it's just between those two, Hamill would be a couple of positions ahead. But with Seidel being as far back on the racetrack, same with Skylar Taylor and Josh Williamson, I don't know, they might both be in as of now. This with it being as close as it is. Going up to the front, look at Ace Garcia. He gained 2/10 last time by. Garcia is not willing to wait till pit stops. He wants to race lead before pit stops.
I think the strategy on Ace Garcia is you'd want to try to run down the leader as quickly as you can, try to pass him for first place, and then hope and pray that once pit stops come around, you're the race leader. You can come in, get your 4 fresh tires, get that good tank of gas, the fresh tank of gas is what I meant to say, and then be the first one back out on the racetrack. So that way you can retain the race lead. I think that's exactly what we're seeing out of Ace Garcia. I think that's the strategy, but. Looking back over here, Lopez knocking on the door of the top 5. Here it is, underneath of Eli Bright.
Both of these drivers with a bad one at Roll America. Both of these drivers outside the top 20, and both of them having a great one, and both of them trying to get a wild card spot after Pocono. Lopez, I have to give the rookie credit though. He not only did he win at Talladega, that's a place where anyone can win, but he won at Darlington. So. And ever since Darlington, this 54 team has shown a lot of speed, and I think if he doesn't make it into the chase, he could be a sleeper, a rookie sleeper for this championship alongside Alex Vitale. Those two are probably the best 2 consistent rookies as of late, but I have to wait and see what happens. To see what happens here, should be pit stops in a handful of laps, and Garcia's starting to slow down a little bit on the number 43, but might want to say that was a great 3 and 4 for Ace Garcia. Pit road should be open in the next couple of laps, and it actually stayed the same distance, 0.21 last time by and this time by. But Ace Garcia is trying to gain as much track time as possible, and then have his pit crew help him out on pit road. But Joe Kowski, I want whatever this 43 has in the Wassup Cup Series, because this 43 car has been fast every single week.
I would have to agree with that right there. And I mean, especially with Joe Rakowski behind the wheel this 43, I wouldn't consider that a surprise at all.
Without doubt, no one's on pit road yet. Pit road should be open soon. Garcia keeps on gaining on that 43, so depending on what happens on pit road, it could be a battle here at New Hampshire between the 43 and 7, and I think...
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Pit stops, here we go. Joe Rakowski is on pit road on lap 39, coming to lap 40, right when we thought, and just past halfway, and these guys should be good on fuel and tires. Ryan Dwyer is going to pit as well in the number 14. Trey Ball, Matthew Hubert, Logan Williams back there as well. Same with Fitzy. I saw in the Sunday D car, and yep, there he is. Johnny Farrington and Brandon Buell all down pit road. A lot of fours coming down pit road. And Joe Kowski is on pit road with that number 1 pit stall. Ace Garcia is going to pit a lap later than the number 7, than the number 43. Hamill, Edwards, Kennington, Ace Garcia, Burnett, and Crampton. But a lot of cars are still staying out. Joe Rakowski's already gone in the number 43. We'll have to watch out for that and see how everything cycles through. Next batch of cars are in, led by Alexander Vitale and many others. And then, let's see, actually, no, that's, I don't know. Edwards of contact with the 51 on pit road. That's not good.
Yeah, I think that was the, obviously the 31 of Jordan Edwards making contact with the 51 of William Brock. That was just when the 31 was trying to get out of his pit. That is definitely not, that's kind of not an uncommon thing to see, especially for NR2003. The AI kind of have a tendency to do that, so.
Oh, tell you what, Ace Garcia, I think pinning a lap later was the way to go. They flip-flopped and the gap basically flip-flopped from before. Ace Garcia's now in the race lead as of now. There's out San Vitale, he's going to exit pit road now. Gonna have to watch out for these guys because they are going to have a couple of fresher tires here on the longer one. And tire was not really too bad, but could play into a small role later on. And looks like everything has cycled out. And it has, and it should be at the line. Ace Garcia as the new race leader here at New Hampshire. We are good on fuel, we should be good on fuel. And now these guys are racing for position from here on out.
I would definitely have to say, as far as Ace Garcia's lead, you might want to keep an eye on that ticker just in case if Joe Rutkowski does run him down and try to pass him back, because obviously we've known that Joe Rutkowski, ever since the drop of the green flag, has had the best car of the day alongside Ace Garcia, but now it's time to actually see if Rutkowski can put that to the test.
Oh yeah. Early on we saw Rutkowski, he definitely had a short one in middle of the one car. He had a okay long one car, but Garcia definitely had a better long one car. All the way getting to 10th on the number 7 is Joe Rutkowski. Gonna go back here for a second. We might have a battle between Messi, who jumped up to 3rd after pit stops, and then out San Vitale, 2 rookies battling for 3rd. And then we got Nick Lopez in 5th, and how about Dale Hamill, the defending champion, just outside the top 5, all over the back bumper of the 54. Then we got Eli Bright, Jordan Stout, Ronald Kennington, and Jordan Andrews in the top 10. Everything pretty normal, just maybe a few position swaps. And then we got the Xfinity car just outside the top 10 of Crampton, Juan Garcia, Juan Dewani, Matthew Burnett, and Wyatt Walker rounding out the top 15. Josh Williamson, BP Buez, Kyle Sestroy, Trey Bow, and Matthew Hooper inside the top 20 now, so top 21 for the 23. And we're going to go back up to the front. Rutkowski has a rocket ship on the short one. He gained, it was 5/10, and now he cut it down in half. Rutkowski has a short one car here today, and he's all over the back bumper of the number 7.
I'd say if you have a short run car, you obviously want to take advantage of that, of trying to get the race lead back right now so that way you can pull away. Because obviously we have seen that Ace Garcia is going to have a long run car, so definitely want to watch for this, because this could be pretty big here once the checkered flag waves.
Oh yeah, without doubt, with the difference that these two drivers have for the cars, Rutkowski definitely has a short run car. Meanwhile, Ace Garcia has a little bit of a better long run car, so if this thing was out, if Rutkowski gets by, then Ace Garcia could do what Rutkowski is doing, and it's not over. It's definitely not over. Not a lot of action here today at New Hampshire, but we are having a good old-fashioned one-on-one battle between 2 of the top 3 in points, Ace Garcia and Joe Rutkowski here today. And you know, I would just mention that Ace Garcia does not need to win, because if he gets a top 2 finish, that would be really good for the points for him to possibly lock himself into the chase going into Pocono next week. But I bet Ace Garcia would love to get his second win, honestly, and nevertheless here at New Hampshire. Battle for 3rd back there between Alex San Vitale and Santa Messi. And
yeah, it looks like he got down to the inside. The 12 of San Vitale definitely got down to the inside, so he's going to take over the 3rd position. And Santi Messi, I think, yeah, he's going to probably lose a couple more positions, because now he's got Nick Lopez down to the inside. I think Hamill might eventually trail him going into turn 3. Let's see. That's again Lopez still getting down on that debanking, but that's gonna help Lopez there take that position. That 48 just going really, really wide through 3 and 4. That's gonna hurt Santi Messi, or did it actually? He's still hanging on.
You know, that 3rd group does have a little bit of what to do of the remaining PJ1. And that is why the outside lane can be so competitive, and that's why we have 2 lanes here at New Hampshire. But if you go outside of it, that was a little bit close between Messi and Hamill. If you go outside of it, like Messi did a second time in 3 and 4, that's going to cost you, as Rutkowski's going to try and pick it down to the inside. He cut it down from 2/10 to 1/10. The race is getting a little bit more sketchy here at New Hampshire with only 25 laps to go. Oh man.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, man is right.
It's been a calm-ish first 50, but it's getting racy. Ace Garcia is whipping right on the edge of the remaining PJ1 and 3 and 4, trying to gain as much time as he can. He actually did gain a little bit. It went up from 1/10 to 0.23, so just over 0.2 of a second now. Ace Garcia is doing all he can to not let Joe Wachowski by, because if he does, Wachowski could just easily run away from the field. But shout out to everyone inside the top 5. Like out Sam Vitale, he could be good to have a really good shot at making it into the chase for a rookie. A great one, a needed one from the 54, and Hamill, he could make the chase, and all of a sudden with his consistency, and I will say he did not win last season at all to win that season 4 championship. So if there's anyone that knows all about being consistent, it is Hamill. He's been consistent in the second half of the regular season, and if he makes it into the chase, that consistency could pay off throughout the chase. We cannot count out the defending champion quite yet, but it's gonna be interesting what ends up happening here. And one thing I would like to mention is that, knowing of how NR is, we've gone on a nice long green flag 1. Someone could have a mechanical failure, someone could blow up, could stack up the field, and we could have a quick caution. 20 plus laps to go, that's still plenty of time for a caution to happen and to get a restart going. So it's not over yet, it's been calm, but it's been an interesting one to say the least here at New Hampshire.
And from my understanding, if we did have a caution flag and we take 1 to go, I don't think there is anybody that was a lap down. So we'd have a clean, I'd say we'd have a pretty clean restart. Nobody having to, I would believe, take the waiver route. I don't think anybody would have to get back on the lead lap or line up on the inside. I mean, especially if you're running original restart rules, but nobody currently is a lap down. So either way, I mean, it is a good sign to see, but that is definitely something that I thought I wanted to be pointed out. But, you know, it is what it is. But you can see, of course, again, you see Ace Garcia definitely starting to pull out quite a bit. That long run car is really starting to come to life. I mean, especially through 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely saw a lot of speed out of that 7 car because he just sailed it through 3 and 4 just those couple laps ago. And that was was the lap where that car came to life, and it really is starting to show.
I think they're about even, and Wachowski might be slightly better in 3 and 4, but this 7 car on the long run, and especially in 3 and 4, is bad fast. Last time by, he gained a whole 10th. It was 0.34, and last time by, it was 0.44. Gonna have to watch it this time by. Ace Garcia in 3 and 4 might be unstoppable here on the long one. Wachowski might have gained a little bit. It stayed the same. Oh, yep.
Oh, he did.
He
gained just a bit.
Just a little bit between Ace Garcia and Joe Wachowski. Would like to quickly point out, tough day for Justin Liddell. I don't know what happened to the 38, but he's dead last, and that only gave him 1 point. That's not good. Not good for April. Not a good day for RCR or Rickler Racing. Bad day for Noah Clifton. Bad day for the 20 machine, who just got inside the top 10 in points, and be most likely on the outside looking in. Beal with a bad day, but basically, like we said on the top of the show, is locked in either way, either on the top 10 in points or with a wild card. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers are not having good ones here today. The 17 of Logan Williams is 21st. That should be good enough to clinch a spot into the chase, but not the one that the 17 wanted here today. But how about the 23 making some moves in the number 23? Just got inside the top 20 and 19th. Paul in the 18th, solid, but definitely. Oh my goodness.
Oh. But that has to be a yellow.
Is that? No, it's not. Somehow.
How is that not a caution?
Well, I will say I have cautions on, and I don't do manual yellows, so that's not a caution. It's whatever the game thinks. Donnie Fallington, for the second straight race, he started off Road America with a tire before even the race started. A tire went down, and now with 15 to go, a tire went down again, and for some reason he didn't make it down pit road in time and hit the tire bales. So that's unfortunate. Seidel's not going to finish last year today, but tell you what, Wachowski might have been saving up his stuff because he's slowly rolling back in on his number 7. And I don't know who's going to get the win here today. It could be the 7, or it could be the 43. These two cars are so even here, and it could be either one getting this race win here in the Xfinity 10g 300. But that coulda, woulda, shoulda been a caution if he stopped on the racetrack, but it wasn't, and we are still green.
Yeah, that's I'm not even sure how that wasn't even a yellow flag, but either way, we're still going. We got Nick Lopez trying to go for third on the 12 of Savitali, and almost came really close to banging doors coming out of 2, but looks like they're hanging pretty even down the back straightaway. We got Derek Hamill, who is definitely looking on. This is, again, for these drivers, especially for Hamill and Lopez. Lopez specifically, because, again, I mentioned at the beginning of the race, 32 points out. So this really will help him get up towards the cutoff line. If not, it could move him above the cut line. We're just going to have to wait and see once the points come out. But so far, I mean, third place right now. He's actually third. So at this point now, I think he probably should just play defense.
Just get the place won and just manage it, because one of two things are going to happen. Either he's going to be really, really close, less than 10 points beyond the cutoff line, or at the very least, he's going to be in the top 20 points after today, I think, and he will be in true contention for the wildcard spot. Same goes for Eli Boyd. I think we have a real case to be made here that we could get John Andrews, Alan Abel, Nick Lopez, and Eli Boyd. Those 4 drivers going for 2 spots for the wildcard spots. That, I think, is the likely scenario going into Pocono. 4 drivers going for 2 wildcard spots. That's going to be absolutely chaotic at Pocono. But a shout out to Ronald Kennington, though. Last in points, not last in points, but deep in the points, outside the top 30. And it's been in the top 10 all day long. Great one for the number 19. And some other drivers that we might have to watch out for. Jordan Edwards, he was 25 points out coming to today with a great one just outside the top 10. He could get into the mix for the cutoff line. Same with Crampton, we've not seen him a lot. He could be in the mix. The same with Ryan DeWine. All these drivers are 18th, 19th, and 20th in points respectively, and they're all inside the top 13 in points. So, if we couldn't think that the points could get any tighter going into Pocono, well, here we go. It could get really, really tight between Heroes and maybe the top 20 going into Pocono next week.
It's going to be very close. I can't wait to watch that.
Oh yeah, without that, and maybe you can watch it while eating some Wendy's. I bet Eli Blythe would love to see that.
I mean, I love Wendy's, so you never know. I could.
But Eli Blythe definitely a nice rebound. He was having a good one at Road America last week. He won at Little Springs earlier in the year. Was winning, I believe, in the top 10, top 15 at the bare minimum, until he had a tire go down in a real scenario and just ended his day short. Definitely what he needs. But we are under 10 laps to go. Caution free up to this point. Definitely a calm one, but it's been an interesting one. It's seen some battles. It's not impossible to pass, but it's just been calm. And to be fair, unlike the Truck Series, we've not had a lot of calm races. So this is nice to have one every now and again, because I know for a fact, no matter if we have a caution or not, the racing is going to be fantastic and wild at Pocono next week. So a nice calm one here at New Hampshire. And Eli Bright to the inside of out San Vitale. And shout out to San Vitale, though. He's been the standout driver for Team Penske this season, and he's a rookie. He has Bradley Ream and Juan Garcia on his team as teammates, and he's outclassed both of them. So a great one for this 12 machine, and a great one for the Alliance team, I guess I'm gonna say, the Wood Brothers and Jordan Stout. he was really strong last season, and we could be in a scenario where the two dominant drivers with consistency-wise last season, Stout and Hamill, could make it into the chase. And you know, if we can have a scenario where we can have like Lopez and Bright, or no, Lopez, Stout, Hamill, Williams, Garcia, Rakowski, like those six drivers that have been some of the most consistent, either this year or last year, make the chase and battle out. We still could have a tight championship battle during the chase, but with 3.5 laps to go, Rakowski is still trying to close in on Ace Garcia, but it's looking really good for this number 17 to get number 2 on the season.
It's kind of been that rubber band effect if you've been paying attention to the deficit between the 7 and the 43. The Rakowski would reel Garcia in, then Garcia would pull away, then they get close, they pull away, they get close, they pull away. But oh man, look at this.
Oh man, that's
gonna kill it. That might kill that run pretty bad there. Rakowski, I don't think that was a wise decision to go up there. I think he was experimenting, and it obviously didn't work.
I mean, with 3 laps to go, you gotta try something. In my vote, maybe a slight bit, but I don't know how much. Really trying something here. Rakowski clearly wants win number 4. Get as many chase bonus points as possible. Each win is 3 points. So, right now he has 3 wins, and that would be 9 points. On top of the chase reset, he wants another one and make that 12 extra chase points. But Garcia wants the second win. Beal and Nick Lopez have 2. Garcia wants to gain, well, he wants to join that list of drivers and be the 3rd driver with 2 wins this season. But that's not over. Rakowski is all over the back bumper, but we only have 1 lap to go. Final lap here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, I think at this point, oh man, Rakowski's going to do it again. He'll probably make it up through 3 and 4, but I just don't think it's enough. Give this race to Ace Garcia. I think he is just pretty much, aside from Rakowski, he has had the fastest car, he had the best pit stop, got out in front, and this is going to pay some pretty big dividends. Here he comes.
Ace Garcia had the long one car here today, and because of his pit crew, he's going to get 2nd win on the season. Ace Garcia will win the Xfinity 10g 300 at New Hampshire. What a battle between Ace Garcia and Joe Rakowski. 2 out of the top 3 in points, 2 out of the top 3 most consistent drivers all season, and they had a great duel here at New Hampshire, but it ended up being that pit stop playing dividends, and that 7 car just being so much, just a little bit better on the long one compared to the 43, and Ace Garcia gets the 2nd win on the season, and the 2nd win at a racetrack that are not like many others. Rockingham is its own animal in New Hampshire. There's a couple racetracks that are kind of like New Hampshire, Phoenix and Gateway, but still Ace Garcia, 2nd win on the season, and now Ace Garcia, Brian Beal, and Nick Lopez are the 3 drivers with 2 wins, and then Joe Rakowski with 3. A calm race here at New Hampshire, but it was not boring, I would say. It was still interesting, still has some battles, and Ace Garcia with the race win, Rakowski in 2nd, Nick Lopez with a great one in 3rd, Hamill in 4th, Blight in 5th, San Vitale in 6th, Messi in 7th, Kennington in 8th, Juan Garcia in 9th, and Jordan Stout rounds out the top 10. Stout, Dwani, Crampton, Burnett, Williams in the top 15. And then Walker, Sustry, Barlow, Hooper, and West the top 20. And as you can see, Donnie Thornton is the only one out. It's going to say that is the accident because he hit the bales, but we all know what happened. He had a tire go down and then proceed to hit the bales. Seidel, not a great one. 9th in points, and he finishes 31st. Not a good one for him. Abel, not a good one. Beal, not a good one. Clifton, not a good one. A lot of drivers that were inside the top 10 in points got bad ones, and a lot of drivers that were not in the top 10 in points got good ones. So, this has happened a lot, where the top 10 battle is between basically 10 plus cars, and that's going to be the way it will end up being. But I think Rakowski is going to be in. He was already in. But I think Logan Williams and Ace Garcia are going to be locked in. And then Alexander Vitale, I think he's not going to be quite locked in, but he's going to be, I want to say, at least 20, 25 points in. So I think Alex Samtali is going to be in pretty good shape. Josh Ramson is going to help him a little bit, but he was only 9 points above. So it's going to be fairly tight. But what's the final thoughts here at New Hampshire for the first time? It was nice and calm. Had a battle in the duel between Ace Garcia and Joe Lukowski, but Ace Garcia gets the edge over the point leader.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that that this race definitely served as probably one of those kind of like breaths of fresh air if you're somebody who is really kind of been wanting yourself a really good run. I mean, especially if you're pretty deep in the point standings, just down but not out when it comes down to being a part of the cut line. Definitely want to get up there and qualify really well. Have yourself a really good handling car. Get up there, race for a top 5 position. Kind of like what we saw there with Nick Lopez and Derek Hamill, Eli Bright. Those drivers, with the exception of Derek Hamill, really deep in the point standings, and this is definitely going to better their chances of possibly getting themselves either pointing their way in, but I'd say safer bet. You want to try to go for that win, but safer bet for those drivers when we go to Pocono next week for that regular season finale. But all in all, we saw some really good action all over the field, lots of split pit strategies, but of course the classes of the field were Ace Garcia, Joe Rutkowski. They definitely put on a show when it came down to who had the better handling car, who had the faster car, who was the better driver here today. And obviously Ace Garcia prevailed in every category here today, especially later in the going.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And points are in. Wachowski's still the point leader, but I will say this is going to be easy for me to tell. I was correct. The top 3 are going to be locked in. Ace Garcia is locked. He's 52 points in, or 52 points above. And then Logan Williams is 67 above. And then Wachowski was already locked in. So Wachowski, Williams, and Ace Garcia are all locked here. And a fun fact, all 3 of those drivers, Logan Williams, Ace Garcia, and Joe Wachowski, all have 8 top 10s, and that's the most. So it's kind of funny that the 3 most consistent drivers so far this season are locked in one race early. Alex Vitale is going to be plus 29, so still pretty good for him. Hamlin's going to move up from 11th in points to 5th in points, and he's going to be plus 18. Williamson's plus 16. Stout plus 12. Clifton plus 11. And then Barlow's only going to be 2 points in. Barlow and Burnett are really, really tight. Beal is 11 in points. First one out, minus 2. Seidel fell back. Wyatt Walker with a good one. Ooh, boy, this is going to get interesting. Wyatt Walker, he could have a shot. Taylor fell back. John Ames fell back. Crampton is going to have a shot. Oh my goodness. I was right. We have basically the top 22 cars have a shot at making it into the chase. Wow.
That's close.
And as of now, the 2 wild cards will go to bring up Beal. And as long as Beal does not finish inside the top 10 in points, he is guaranteed to have one. And right now, Beal's 11th. Nick Lopez is 17th. Andrews is 15th. Bright is 18th. And Abel is 20th. But the thing is, Andrews, Abel, and Bright all want Beal to make it into top 10 in points. Because then that will leave up one spot for either Andrews, Bright, or Abel. If both Beal and Nick Lopez finish 11th to 20th in points, if they both have 2 wins, they have the most wins out of anyone, they are locked in. And then I will leave out Andrews, Bright, and Abel. So a lot of different scenarios here. It's going to be wild. And heck, we don't know, maybe Andrews can make it into the chase on points. It's wild. Pocono's always been wild for the regular season finale. What do you think is going to happen at Pocono with how tight the points are?
Honestly, I'm probably going to have to say crap's going to hit the fan when we go to Pocono. I think that's what I was going to say. I was going to say the other word, but obviously we're going to substitute that. But either way, you know what I mean. Crap's going to hit the fan when we go to Pocono. I mean, obviously drivers might be racing like there's no tomorrow, especially those who either are who are definitely going to have a shot. They're going to try to race their hearts out. They probably might have some. I mean, obviously, pit strategy is going to be a huge factor, especially for a place like Pocono. So that's definitely going to be a lot of things to watch for once we go to the regular season finale. Is that everything is going to be chaotic? So that is going to be a must watch next week.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Pocono's been the regular season finale for a handful of seasons now. And heck, last year, at this time, at Pocono, we saw Joe Wachowski and the number 8 for LCR win at Pocono and make it into the chase with a wildcard spot. Any one of these drivers that don't have a win could do that here, or say Andrews, Bright, and Abel if they can get their second win on the season and challenge Beal and Lopez for the people with 2 wins, then they could get in. So we've seen it before, we'll probably see it again. Pocono has been great as a regular season finale, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Regular season finale for Trust and Cup next week at Pocono Raceway. I am very much excited, and after that, I believe we take maybe a 1 week break and then we kick off the chase at Indianapolis as always, but this time on 4th of July. That's going to be fantastic. Fully Elijah, I'm an S-Racing97, aka Nathan Stapleton. It is a hot and humid one here in New Hampshire, and I'm going to get out of the booth. Thanks for joining me here at New Hampshire. I hope Ace go see Lobsters because he gets through in here at New Hampshire. And the points still coming up next. And until next week at Pocono, it's crunch time. 1 race to go, and we will see you guys for the regular season finale next week at Pocono. Bye.
Have a good one.